Alright, what's happening everybody? It's your boy Akeem and welcome to today's vlog. It's time for me to finally round up my top 10 rankings for each position of this year's Fantasy Football League. Today, I'm going to show some love to the kickers. Now I know that some people might be thinking that the kickers are not that important, but they are very valuable to the team because they might even decide whether you win or lose each week of your season. So they are very important. At number 10, I'm going to go with Mason Crosby of the Green Bay Packers. He's a good kicker, and with all of the star offensive players coming back for the offense of Green Bay, I think they're going to be able to get down the field and at least get to field goal range and score a lot of touchdowns for Crosby to get some extra points in and get you a couple points here and there. At number 9, I'm going to go with Dan Carpenter of the Miami Dolphins. He was my backup kicker last season, and he helped me out during my bye week. He's a good, reliable backup kicker, and he could even be your starting kicker. He's a good kicker, reliable kid. At number 8, I'm going to go with Rob Baronis of the Tennessee Titans. Now, he didn't have a great season last season, but a couple of years ago, he broke the NFL record for the most field goals made in a single game, including the game-winning field goal. He's a good, reliable kicker. I do like him, and I think he's going to bounce back to that Pro Bowl season he had a couple of years back. At number 7, I'm going to go with Josh Brown of the St. Louis Rams. I think with the Rams offense getting everything together, Sam Bradford is having a good connection with his receivers. He had 17 touchdown passes last season, but I think this year he's going to improve just a little bit and march the offense down the field, at least get into field goal range. So I think Josh Brown can benefit from that. At number 6, I'm going to go with Nick Folk of the New York Jets. Good kicker. He was one of the top 10 kickers last season, and I think he could help out your team, whoever picks him up. At number 5, I'm going to go with Matt Bryant, the kicker from the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan is having a good connection with Roddy White. The running game is getting everything is working well with Michael Turner, especially if Michael Turner is healthy this season. Atlanta will be able to get down the field, get into field goal range, and score some touchdowns for Matt Bryant to get the field goals. At number 4, I'm going to go with Adam Vinatieri of the Indianapolis Colts. He is probably the most clutch kicker in NFL history and probably the most popular. I do like this guy. He helped out Tom Brady years back when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, and Peyton Manning in recent years. He's a good kicker, clutch kicker, that you could definitely depend on him. At number 3, I'm going to go with Neil Rackers of the Houston Texans. He's a Pro Bowl kicker, great guy, and I really think he can help out your team. At number 2, I'm going to go with David Akers of the Philadelphia Eagles. He made Pro Bowl many years, and he is still one of the best kickers in the NFL, and that's why he's at number 2. And at number 1, the number 1 kicker is Sebastian Janikowski of the Oakland Raiders. He is the best kicker in the NFL. He was the number 1 kicker in points last season in the Fantasy Football League. Plus, the Raider offense is starting to get their running game together, but they're still in the development stage of getting their passing game together. And I think they're dependent more on Sebastian Janikowski to make field goals, because it's very hard for them to march down the field with their running game and their passing game still being in the development stage. So the Raiders are definitely dependent on Sebastian to make more field goals, and he made a lot last season, being the number 1 kicker in the NFL. So that's why he's my number 1 guy. Now, my honorable mentions are Dave Buehler of the Baltimore Ravens. He's a good kicker. And Jay Feely of the Arizona Cardinals. There was a couple of weeks last season where I faced an opponent who had Jay Feely as their kicker, and he ended up deciding whether I won or lost. And both weeks I faced this guy, Jay Feely ended up kicking my butt. He's a good honorable mention kicker, and definitely look out for him. Now, my sleeper, I'm going to go with a little bit of a wild guess here. I'm going to go with Connor Barth of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay offense is looking like they're developing well. They're having good relationships between Josh Freeman and his star receiver Mike Williams, and the running game with LeGarrette Blount leading the way is helping things, getting the offense together and marching down the field. And I think Connor Barth can benefit from that and get some field goals made for this team, and that's why he's my sleeper. Now, we're getting closer into the season, and I hope to see these negotiations are over, just like you guys hope. They're still in the negotiation stage of this NFL lockout, but I think they're going to get the season started. We might end up losing a couple of games during the year because of preseason. Some people might think they're going to cut preseason games, but I think it's very important for teams to go to training camp and still have the preseason for the relationships to develop on both sides of the ball for their team, and have a good link between teammates. And I do think if having a preseason is important. So I really think that the NFL is going to take out a couple of regular season games for the teams to train and develop together. So I really think that's what's going to happen. So these negotiations should be over soon, and they really need to be over. Now during the season, I'm going to go week by week and tell you who should you play and who should you put in your bench, and give you my point spreads for each of my star players of the week to look out for. Thank you for watching today's blog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.